Hello, friends. Nice to see you today. I'm Mrs. Urbach, and this is Charlie. Do you want to say hello to Charlie? Thank you for joining me here today. Do you know the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Well, today I'm going to tell you a story about a time when Goldilocks didn't visit the Three Bears. She decided to go to a different house. This story is called Goldilocks and the Three Dinosaurs. Which of those words has G in the name? Goldilocks, of course. Good job. Mo Willems wrote the story and did all the pictures. Once upon a time, there were three dinosaurs. Papa Dinosaur, Mama Dinosaur, and some other dinosaur who happened to be visiting from Norway. I like that part of the story because all my family is from Norway. Maybe he's one of my family members that I just never met before. One day, for no particular reason, the three dinosaurs made up their beds, positioned their chairs just so, and cooked 3 bowls of delicious chocolate pudding at varying temperatures. That means at different temperatures. I see something in this picture. If you learned the letter A and the letter B with me, do you remember the stories that we read in those videos? Who were they about? Pigeon. Can you find Pigeon hiding on this page somewhere? He's pretty sneaky. "Oh boy," said Papa Dinosaur in his loud, booming voice. "It is finally time to leave and go to the, someplace else." "Yes," continued Mama Dinosaur. "I sure hope no innocent little succulent child happens by our unlocked home while we are, someplace else." And then look what she's saying. Oh dear. Then the other dinosaur made a loud noise that sounded like a big evil laugh, but was probably just a polite Norwegian expression. Wow. The three dinosaurs went someplace else and were definitely not hiding in the woods waiting for an unsuspecting kid to come by. What do you see? Are they hiding in the woods? Sure enough, 5 minutes later, a poorly supervised little girl named Goldilocks came traipsing along. Poorly supervised means she didn't have a safe grown-up with her. Just then, the forest boomed with what could have been a dinosaur yelling, "Gotcha!" but I'm pretty sure was just the wind. The loud noise was immediately followed by another loud noise that sounded kind of like, "Be patient, Papa Dinosaur, the trap is not yet sprung!" But that could have been a rock falling or a squirrel. Either way, Goldilocks was not the type of little girl who listened to anyone or anything. For example, Goldilocks never listened to warnings about the dangers of barging into strange, enormous houses. Oh dear. And you and I both know we're not supposed to barge into strange, enormous houses, or strange, small houses for that matter. So, as soon as Goldilocks came across a strange, enormous house, she barged right in. Look at this welcome mat. Do you have a mat outside your front door? In the hallway or on the front porch maybe? And it might say, "Welcome." But I wonder if yours below it says, "Tee-hee." I wonder what that means. Inside, Goldilocks immediately smelled the 3 bowls of delicious chocolate pudding. Have you ever smelled melted chocolate? Oh my goodness, if you have, you know how good that house smelled, right? Close your eyes and just imagine the smell of melted chocolate. No wonder she went in. Said Goldilocks. That chocolate pudding smells delicious. If only I could get all the way up to the top of that counter. Then Goldilocks noticed a very tall ladder that just happened to be there and certainly wasn't left on purpose. Goldilocks climbed up the ladder and found herself face to face with 3 gigantic bowls of chocolate pudding. The first bowl of chocolate pudding was too hot, but Goldilocks ate it anyway because, hey, it's chocolate pudding, right? Have you ever eaten anything that's too hot, but you wanted to keep eating it because it was so tasty? You didn't want to wait for it to cool? Maybe I do that with chocolate chip cookies right out of the oven. Yeah, and so what do? Let's pretend we're eating that bowl of chocolate pudding. Hold your spoon and we take a bite. And you keep eating, but oh, it's hot in your mouth, isn't it? And she ate the whole thing anyway. The second bowl of chocolate pudding was too cold. But who cares about temperature when you've got a big bowl of chocolate pudding? Not her. Look at this. She just stuck her whole head right in. Who needs a spoon when it's, not too hot? So you take that bowl of pudding, and what did she do? Just eat your bowl of pudding. The third bowl of chocolate pudding was just right. But Goldilocks was on such a roll by now she hardly noticed. Look at this. All 3 bowls completely devoured. Soon, Goldilocks was stuffed like one of those delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons, which, by the way, are totally not the favorite things in the whole world for hungry dinosaurs. Tired and groggy, Goldilocks noticed 3 chairs in the living room, so she climbed down the ladder and walked out of the kitchen. But before we leave the kitchen, do you see somebody hiding in the cookie jar again? The first chair was too tall. The second chair was too tall. But the third chair, what do we think the third chair is going to be? Was too tall. Goldilocks wasn't going to climb that high just to sit in some chair, so she hiked over to the bedroom. When she got there, Goldilocks noticed that the beds were also gigantically big. "What is going on around here?" groaned the exhausted girl. "The bears that live here must be nuts." What do we know that she doesn't know? Yeah, those chairs don't belong to any bears. Ooh, how is she feeling? Look at that squiggle above her head and her furrowed brow. Maybe frustrated. Just then, the room filled with a loud, booming noise that was either a passing truck or a dinosaur gloating. Ooh, gloating is a good word. Gloating starts with what letter? G. G, right. "A few more minutes and she'll be asleep. Delicious chocolate-filled little girl bonbons are yummier when they're rested." Even a little girl who never listens to anyone or anything had to hear that. Goldilocks took a minute to stop and think, which was longer than she was used to stopping and thinking. "Hey," she told herself, "this isn't some bear's house. This is some dinosaur's house." Say what you like about Goldilocks, but she was no fool. As quickly as she could, she ran to the back door and got out of there. Good for her. She got that feeling, right, that you get when you're like, something doesn't feel right. And the smartest thing when you get that feeling is to listen to it. And if it tells you to go out the back door, you just go out the back door. Good girl. Just then, a loud plane flew by, which sounded pretty much like a trio of dinosaurs yelling, "No!" or "Charge!" or the Norwegian expression for "Chewy bun bun time." Suddenly, and completely coincidentally, the three dinosaurs rushed through the front door. But they were too late, because there's the back door. And who ran through that? Yep, Goldilocks. Goldilocks was gone, and all that was left in the house were 3 disappointed dinosaurs. The end. And the moral is, do you know what a moral is? A moral is a lesson. So our lesson is, if you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. And look at Goldilocks. She's so excited because she went to the right story, which is where she belongs with the 3 bears, yes. And the moral for dinosaurs is, lock the back door. We're glad that those dinosaurs forgot to lock the door. Well, I'm really glad you spent some of your day with me today. Thank you for joining me. Let's give ourselves a little love before we go. Hold out this arm and wrap it around your body. And hold out this arm and wrap it around the other way. And give yourself a great big hug, because you are special and you are loved. Now listen for that G as I say goodbye. Parents, grandparents, and caregivers, did you know you can connect with me on Facebook? I'd love to be in touch. Visit my Early Learning Loft page on Facebook. I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.